Welcome back to Writing Tutorials. In today's video, we'll be breaking down a formal letter and exploring each section step by step. Formal letters are often used for business communication, official requests, or professional acknowledgments. Whether you're writing to express appreciation, make a request, or share information, understanding the structure and tone of a formal letter is essential. We'll go over each part to give you a complete guide on how to craft a polished and professional formal letter. Letterhead or sender's address. Let's start at the top with the sender's information. In a formal letter, you should include the company or sender's name and address at the very beginning. For instance, here, we have Acme Corporation followed by its address, 789, Business Avenue, Suite 100, San Francisco, California, 94104. Including this information up front is critical because it identifies who the letter is from and gives the recipient immediate context. Having a clear and professional letterhead with this information is a must. It not only provides the reader with important contact details but also sets a formal tone. Date of the letter. Next up, we have the date, which is November 1st, 2024. This may be a minor detail, but the date is an essential part of a formal letter. Always place the date directly below the sender's address, and format it in a standard way to keep the letter looking organized and professional. Recipient's name and address. Moving down, we have the recipient's name and address. This letter is addressed to Mr. John Michaels at 123 Maple Street, Apartment 4B, Los Angeles, California, 90001. Adding the recipient's full name and address personalizes the letter and clearly indicates who the message is intended for. In a formal letter, make sure you address the person by their full name and title. Whether it's Mr., Ms., or Dr., using the proper title is crucial for a professional tone. Including this full address also helps in case the letter is being delivered physically or needs to be archived. Greeting or salutation. Next, we see the greeting, which is Dear Mr. Michaels in this case. A formal greeting is simple and respectful. By addressing the recipient with their last name and a title, you set a courteous tone that aligns with the letter's formal nature. This type of greeting works well for most formal letters, as it's both professional and respectful. When you're writing a formal letter, start with Dear and follow with the person's title and last name. It's a small but important detail that makes the letter feel appropriately respectful from the very beginning. Subject line. Now, we get to the subject line, which in this letter is subject, appreciation for outstanding service. Including a subject line in a formal letter gives the recipient a clear idea of the letter's purpose before they even start reading. For formal letters in general, keep the subject brief but descriptive. It's like the title of an email, it helps the reader know what to expect right away. This line is especially useful if you're sending the letter in a professional setting where clear communication is key. Opening line and purpose of the letter. Now we reach the opening paragraph, which introduces the purpose of the letter. Here, it says, I am writing on behalf of Acme Corporation to formally express our sincere appreciation for your exceptional service and dedication over the past year. In general, the opening paragraph should clarify the reason for the letter right away. You don't need to go into too much detail yet, just give the reader a quick summary of why you're reaching out. For instance, if you're writing to acknowledge something, make a request, or share information, briefly state that here. Starting with a clear purpose shows respect for the reader's time and sets the stage for the rest of the letter. Body of the letter. Now, let's move to the body of the letter. This section is where you go into detail. In this example, the letter explains specific reasons for appreciation. Throughout your time with Acme, you have consistently demonstrated professionalism, reliability, and a positive attitude. In a formal letter, the body is the place to expand on your message. Whether you're recognizing accomplishments, explaining details, or listing out specific points, try to keep your sentences clear and concise. In most cases, each paragraph should cover one main idea to keep things organized. For instance, if you're requesting something, one paragraph can explain why it's needed, and another can outline the specific request. Supporting details or specifics. Next, we have a paragraph that offers additional supporting details. Your work ethic and attention to detail have resulted in several successful projects, and we want to acknowledge your remarkable efforts. This type of supporting paragraph is optional but can add a lot to a formal letter. Use it to give further details that clarify your main message. If you're writing a recommendation letter, for example, here you might describe the person's achievements. Or if it's a request, you could mention any supporting facts or figures. Details like these make your letter more persuasive and personalized, showing the recipient that you put thought into your words. Closing remarks. Now, let's look at the conclusion. We hope to continue benefiting from your skills and expertise, and we are confident that your future contributions will be equally valuable. This part of a formal letter usually wraps up your main message and leaves the recipient with a clear sense of what you're hoping to achieve. In general, the conclusion should summarize your message and, if appropriate, express any final wishes or intentions. For example, in an appreciation letter, you might wish the person continued success. In a request letter, you might mention that you're looking forward to a prompt response. Aim for a tone that's courteous and positive, as this is the impression the recipient will be left with. Offering further support or assistance. Next, the letter includes an optional but thoughtful line offering additional support. Please do not hesitate to reach out if there is anything we can do to support your professional growth and success within our organization. This type of closing is a nice touch in formal letters, especially if you want to reinforce a positive or supportive relationship. It shows that you're open to further engagement and willing to assist if needed. This can be especially valuable in letters related to professional development, feedback, or collaboration. If you're writing a formal letter to a client, a line like this can indicate your willingness to address any future needs. It leaves the recipient with a sense of openness and cooperation. Final thanks and signature. Now we have the closing paragraph and signature. Thank you once again for your hard work and dedication. We look forward to your continued success with Acme Corporation. In formal letters, a closing like this is brief but meaningful. It emphasizes your main message one last time, whether it's gratitude, well wishes, or a request for a response. If your letter's tone is positive, try to end on a note that reflects this, leaving the recipient with a good final impression. Below the closing line, include the sender's full name, job title, and organization, as done here with Sarah Thompson, Human Resources Manager, Acme Corporation. Including these details makes the letter official and personal, giving the reader a clear point of contact if they need to follow up. And that's it. A complete breakdown of a formal letter. From the heading to the closing, each section of the letter has its purpose. By following these steps, you can ensure that your formal letters are professional, respectful, and clear. Whether you're writing a request, acknowledgement, or announcement, remember that the key to an effective formal letter is clarity and courtesy. I hope this guide has helped you understand each part of a formal letter better. If you found this tutorial useful, please like, subscribe, and join us for more writing tips here on Writing Tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.